Press Corps people. I'm David Cruz. Analilia is in. Protesters want ICE out. Gateway is back on track, maybe. And we all seem to have survived the Bad Bunny Bowl. We'll bring the Press Corps panel in here to discuss right after this.
Hi, we are taking a minute to remind you that when you like, subscribe, and share this content, you're helping to build an audience for independent journalism. Thanks for streaming. Let's get back to the show.
All right, panel, welcome. Jelani Gibson covers the state for NJ Advanced Media. Krystal Knapp is the founder and editor at the Jersey Vindicator. And Dustin Racioppi is the editor at Politico NJ. Welcome, panel. Good to see you all. It took about a week, but it finally became official. Analilia Mejia is the Democratic candidate in the 11th Congressional District. Krystal, lots been made of the dollars that poured in from the group AIPAC, pro-Israeli group. But is there any real evidence to say how much of a role it played in the race?
I mean, I think it's hard to judge exactly how much, but they spent over $2.3 million. And then you also had Brendan Gill attacking him. But I also think, it's other factors. He was seen by many people as a carpetbagger, moving from one district to the other to run again. So, I think there are a lot of factors there. And then she ran a strong race. I mean, I think people underestimated her ground game, and she had a real broad coalition of support. And then she focused on issues people cared about, affordability and ICE violating due process.
Yeah. There was also a confluence of events and all of that. Dustin, you were with us when we first floated Mejia's name back in November. Yeah. AIPAC didn't carry all the weight in that race alone, did they? I mean, that was a pretty damn good campaign that they ran.
I think AIPAC certainly was a factor, but you also have to give credit where it's due. She was a longtime organizer. As Krystal said, I mean, getting on the ground and knocking on doors and doing all that messaging, you can't discount that. You have to take that into consideration. And like I said, just give her credit where it's due. She ran a good campaign and she won.
Yeah. Jelani, you were also with us back in November. You covered this race closely. Nobody saw her coming, right?
Well, I mean, obviously the progressives who supported her, saw her coming, but she was considered the long shot compared to other traditional machine candidates. But this also essentially proves that the progressives just don't have a machine. They have a rather effective one. They've notched this win. They've notched wins in Jersey City. They can claim, New York, and so you're seeing an era where the progressives can actually notch some wins on their belt.
A moment, perhaps. Meanwhile, as Brendan Gill and Tom Malinowski fall in behind Mejia, Lieutenant Governor Tahisha Way, whom we're told was the goal of AIPAC all along, she has not ruled out a primary challenge in June. Dustin, Democratic Party bad sportsmanship, or does she know something that we don't know?
If she does, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I kind of just get the feeling that, people are just hanging back and trying to see, was this a fluke? I mean, is that really what voters want? They want to have this progressive be their representative and try to see if there's an opening to maybe go in and defeat her. But yeah, I don't know.
From the center or the right.
Mm-hmm, yeah, exactly. I mean, you look at this district 10 years ago before Mikey Sherrill flipped it, it was ruby red for a long time. And to think that now there's going to be this Bernie Sanders AOC aligned person in there, it's just like, it's almost unfathomable.
Yeah. Krystal, some op-ed suggested that ranked choice voting might have better or at least more accurately reflected voter sentiment. Agreed or no?
Yes, I agree there. I mean, going back to her win and whether Tahisha Way is going to run again or not, you had 11 Democratic candidates. It's a huge field. So, over 62,000 people voted, and the winner only received uh, 18,500 votes approximately, right? So it was very fragmented. So you figure out if there were ranked choice voting, um, people would get to choose their second choice. You might have a different result, I think.
Yeah,
I think
interesting.
with the end of the county line, I think the math is totally different now.
Jelani, is she a little lefty for the district? I mean, Dustin suggested it. They're just settling into their liberal identity there.
Well, another interesting part about this, right, is you had two progressives weighing in to help candidates, right? You had Senator Kim, weighing in on who he wanted to endorse, Malinowski, and then you had Raz Baraka, who was, helping Analilia Mejia by doing a lot of town halls. You saw Mayor Raz Baraka as a constant presence at these town halls with her. So. I mean, I don't really necessarily understand the argument for too progressive, considering the top ranking candidates were both receiving the support of the progressive mayor from Newark and
Yeah.
the progressive senator. But what Malinowski had to say is rather interesting when it comes to AIPAC. He essentially in his statement congratulating Mejia, basically called out AIPAC, which essentially shows a certain amount of hostility that can form in an election with less players.
All right, immigration now. A week after the Jersey City 10 were arrested by ICE, legislative committees moved bills that were intended to provide protections to immigrants. Are the bills much different from those voted or vetoed by the governor, the previous governor?
Uh, some of them
I don't
are really
remember if
just.
there were supposed to be some carve outs or something.
Yeah, so here's what's going on, right? So you've got three bills that were advanced yesterday. Two of them were the ones that were vetoed by Murphy, and then you've got that third one, which requires police to identify themselves. Now, there was a previous version of the bill that was talking about criminal penalties. That one seems to have been shelved in favor of one that simply just gives discretion to the attorney general to figure out how they're going to do the penalties. That seems to be the one that they have advanced. It's also important to understand, though, is that at her confirmation hearing, acting Attorney General Davenport did signal to Senator John Bramnick, no less, who's one of the most senior-ranking Republicans in the party. He flat out asked her, "Would you be willing to arrest federal agents for a violation of state law?" And the acting Attorney General did answer in the affirmative.
Yeah.
So those three bills have been passed. The carve outs that they're talking about, the ACLU talked about this yesterday. They're talking about final deportation orders. And basically, the argument that's being made by the activists is that a lot of the protections should also apply to people with final deportation orders, because when you receive a final deportation order, there are still remedies and resolutions that you can seek, and that the final deportation order basically comes and gets those people before they can exhaust those remedies.
Yeah. Dustin, have the heated times over the immigration issue uh, made it easier for these bills than maybe before?
I think potentially, but the big issue for Governor Sherrill, which was the issue for Murphy, was how is this going to hold up in court, particularly the Immigrant Trust Directive. If they pass that bill into and send it to her desk, the worry is, does it go too far? Will this stand up to scrutiny? Whatever is happening in Minnesota or elsewhere, I think it is a factor, but it's not the determining factor. It's really about like the legality of things, and I think they
Right.
want to make sure that it's really buttoned up and can withstand scrutiny.
All right, I'll stop for a plug for Hold That Thought. This week we have Republican Senator John Bramnick and Assemblyman Brian Bergen. They're sharing their thoughts on the recent ICE action in New Jersey and the immigration bills that we just talked about. Hold That Thought is streaming right now on YouTube. Krystal, anything else come out of committee this week of import? Something about
Well,
a budget bill?
well, you also have the bill to fund the suicide hotline that made it through the Senate committee. You know, basically a tax would be added onto your cell phone bill to fund that. Now, Governor Sherrill has said she's not going to institute any new taxes, so it'll be interesting to see if she signs that if it comes, makes it to her desk, I think.
Yeah. There's a bill that would put the budget up a month before the June 30th deadline and for it to sit for 14 days before the legislature can take a final vote on it. Dustin, a budget a month before the deadline, whatever would we fret over in June?
Our vacation plans?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is
That's
not
crazy talk, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Why would legislative leaders sign a bill that's going to make them do their jobs more efficiently and publicly? I mean, the whole deal with the budget is it gets done within the last 48 hours before the deadline or the last week before the deadline. I mean, and it's always this horse trading and negotiations and adding on this and that. It's never going to change.
All right. A judge ruled on gateway funding again. Um, can they continue digging the damn hole or not? Krystal?
Well, as of today, they can, as of this morning, but I'm just waiting for another development. The Trump administration is still trying to fight it, and will they find some other way to keep fighting to not release the money? We'll see.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Dustin, coincidentally enough, New Jersey Transit meltdown on the coldest week of the year. Now the North Portal Bridge replacement project is going to make it even harder to get into New York. Governor Sherrill hasn't yet said that she'll fix NJ Transit or it'll kill her, but NJ Transit still needs fixing, obviously, right?
It does, but there's really only so much that a governor or an executive can even do. I mean, because it takes, I mean, there's the relationship with Amtrak and federal tracks and all that kind of stuff and upgrades. We've heard about it all before. Um, but this just reflects the reality of living in New Jersey. I mean, you just have this aging infrastructure and you have these systems that are not very reliable. And whether it's a cold snap or middle of August, I mean, it's always going to be like when it's bad weather, expect the worst.
Yeah. Jelani, I don't drive, so I all I do is mass transit. It feels to me like a map that's all tangled. Can anyone really honestly expect any better mass transit service? I mean, Dustin made the point. We're in New Jersey.
You know, as a born and raised Washingtonian,
Yeah.
I really do feel for
Yeah.
what this mass transit system is. I mean, oh man, and I also live right next to Penn Station, as you know. So look, should NJ Transit become better? I don't think that anybody's underneath the impression that NJ Transit shouldn't become better. You know, I've been to Penn Station multiple times. The delays for NJ Transit have almost become like a rite of daily passage for
Yeah.
customers. Like it's even really hard to conceive of NJ Transit delays as delays because if it's a delay every single day, then isn't that just mathematically speaking like the new yeah
That's
like
good.
yeah it's just like the new waiting time, right? Like a delay means that like you have to have a period where something was actually running on time for a
Right.
sustained period, and that doesn't happen with NJ Transit. So.
It's if everything's late, then nothing is late.
Exactly. Then if everything is late, then everyone's on time.
Yeah.
So, and so it's if in even small improvement, since NJ Transit is so terrible though, when it comes to time, if any small improvement is made, that could probably still be seen as a victory lap. But I'm just not sure whether or not with the amount of things that are wrong with the transit system, will it ever be good enough to overcome the daily frustration of commuters?
Yeah.
That's the question that I wonder about.
You may be 37 minutes late, but you can see out of the windows now. Krystal, I think that, I don't know why, but I think that you would be able to best explain what happened with the electricity auctions and what it means for my electric bill, or can you?
So electric bills will go up slightly. That was the good news out of yesterday. It was interesting. Governor Sherrill took a victory lap on that, but
Yeah.
really it was because of a cap that was a result of uh, legal action last year that influenced that. So I'm not quite sure why the victory lap on that when that was
Yeah.
something related to last year with litigation. So.
Well, so the good news is your electricity rates are going to go up only slightly.
Well, and then there's the whole plan to give credits to people. So I'm not, it's still not clear to me how that's going to play out. They're going to use the same funding they used this year for that, but I'm not sure like about the details, like what the cap will be on that. I think this year was it maybe $50 or something in terms of
Yeah.
credits to make up for
That's going to help a lot. Dustin, they're going to take the money from Stay NJ. Uh, Dustin, your favorite former New Jersey governor appears to be emerging from self-imposed exile, making comments about the state of the state party. What is Chris Christie up to?
That's a good question. A lot of Christie critics and detractors would say that he ignored the state party for a long time, and so it's quite rich for him to be coming back and, you know, lecturing people about stuff. But at the same time, he has been or has the ability to raise a lot of money. He is whether people agree with him or not, he is a charismatic and loud voice. People pay attention to him. So I suppose that there is an opportunity there for him to play a role in resuscitating the Republican Party in New Jersey, which is at its lowest point in 50 years.
And in need of resuscitation. The aforementioned Senator John Bramnick, he says Chris Christie wants to help the party in New Jersey. Krystal, why would a national figure like Chris Christie care about little old New Jersey?
Well, I mean, he lives here, he does business here. I mean, who knows what his future aspirations are? There are rumors he's going to run for office again. Is he going to run for Cory Booker's seat? I mean, there's speculation. He has said over and over he has no intention to run for Senate. But we'll see. I mean, he does have a big platform, so I could see people, calling him in to help, rally the party.
What, you don't have any faith in the great Alex Zidane to take on Cory Booker? Uh, Jelani, I think Chris Christie is going to challenge Cory Booker for U.S. Senate. Are Krystal and I crazy, or is Chris Christie crazy like a fox?
It's a possibility that he would do it. What's what I would parse out from that possibility, however, is what exactly would he be trying to get
Yeah.
from so to speak? I mean, does he genuinely believe he can beat Cory Booker in a seat he hasn't lost since, the land before time, or does he think that I guess the newsworthy audacity of it would essentially be good PR for him anyway to get him back in the political conversation?
As a potential presidential candidate, I see where you're going with that. Dustin, Christie for Senate.
I think you got to take Christie at his word. I believe he said he would rather kill himself, something to that effect.
I think he
So,
said that to you, did he not?
yeah, so I would take him at his word on that one. And like, yeah, who wants to go up against Cory Booker? He's got almost $22 million in the bank. New Jersey hasn't elected a Republican. Like, there's just no chance. And like, Christie wouldn't take that chance.
Yeah. All right. A couple random things here. Gallup is going to stop measuring presidential approval. I used to think Gallup was like a standard descriptor for poll, like they took a Gallup poll. Is this significant in this world of insta polling and just made up polls, Dustin?
It's significant just because of what you said. Historically, it's like a Rorschach test. Gallup equals polling.
Right. Yeah.
But, as we've seen over the last 10 years, polling has become very tricky. It's unreliable, and it's nothing against the pollsters. It's just the landscape has changed so much that it makes it extremely difficult to get any accurate results. So maybe this is just a reflection of that.
It used to be a day when people like walked up to your door and said, "Hi, I'm from the Gallup polling." Wow, it's a long
Yeah.
time ago. All right, moving on. Hudson County now. What has gotten into Congressman Rob Menendez?
We will not let them destroy what you have created. We will not let them take your future. This is our fight. This is our county. This is our state. This is our motherfucking country.
Dropping F-bombs now. Krystal, it's a new world, huh?
Well, I know he's been criticized by Mr. Ali, who's going to run against him in the primary.
Mossab Ali, yep.
Yes, Mossab Ali, who ran unsuccessfully to be New Jersey City's mayor. I mean, I do think people are probably nervous about the progressive wing, so they're sort of trying to pull out their progressive bona fides, maybe. But I mean, Menendez was at Delaney Hall when Ross Baraka was arrested, so I don't think. I mean, he's been accused of like being fake about his concern on this issue, and I do not think that's true given his history at Delaney Hall. So.
All right, Jelani, kids today, right?
Look, the most interesting thing to me as a reporter that's happened with the Democratic Party here is that a lot of the positions that used to be considered too far left are now becoming part and parcel of things that even people who identify themselves as more moderate Democrats are now doing, which kind of goes back to that conversation that we had earlier about, far, left of left of left, right?
Yeah.
You didn't used to hear this the way that Governor Sherrill is criticizing ICE currently is a way that progressives have been criticizing ICE for a very long time, as you know. Now that has seeped into the mainstream with a lot of with a lot of the Democratic Party. And so I think that you're going to see I think you're going to see some of the things that the far left has done seep into the mainstream part of the Democratic Party, while you're basically going to try to see moderates struggle to see how far left they can be to get more votes. And you're also going to have to see how much the far left moderates themselves to get more votes.
As exemplified by who drops the most F-bombs, evidently.
Exactly.
Dustin, it's sort of like the Trump effect, right? A little bit in terms of the rhetoric of things.
Yes, the national politics is definitely polarizing things at the state and local level, I think. And like the F-bomb has been dropped so much in relation to what's happening in Minneapolis, it's become pretty normal now. So I think
right. And Dustin, even candidates, they're okay with it.
Yeah, I think there's an element of performance to it, especially with Democrats, like making a big deal of like, oh, I'm cursing. I'm saying, oh, I get shit done. Like
I think Cory Booker said shit once and everybody was like, ah.
Ooh, but like, any adult who's at a cocktail party, all you hear is F-bombs and it's just kind of silly. But like the Overton window has shifted, no doubt about it. We don't hear President Trump saying F-bombs too much, but what we hear him saying is such an abuse on
it's
the
worse
English language.
Possible.
So yeah, everybody has adjusted, I guess you could say.
Yeah. All right, running out of time here. Jelani, you had a piece recently about a bill that's supposed to make our fast food more healthy. I was going to ask you to explain the details, but I'm running out of time. All I want to know is, what is your favorite go-to fast food? Jelani?
Burgers, without a doubt. Burgers.
That's almost like not even a fast food anymore. It's like
I mean, come on. I mean, burgers are the OG of fast foods. There's no argument. It's burgers.
Krystal, what's your go-to fast food?
Yeah, Shake Shack, so burgers, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Milkshake, yeah.
Dustin, is it true that you served on a freaking submarine?
Yes. Yeah. What does that have to do with fast food?
I guess the question is, what do you eat in the submarine? I guess MREs, right?
Yeah, lots of peanut butter and jelly, beans. Yeah,
So
food isn't
peanut
great.
butter and jelly and beans. So how did that impact whatever your fast food go-to is?
My kids love McDonald's, but I have to respect Taco Bell and the audacity of the menu.
The audacity of the menu. What's wrong with the audacity of the menu?
It's out there. I mean, they just have some crazy stuff sometimes.
Yes. Making up words that sound like they're Spanish but aren't really Spanish.
Like the Cheesecake Factory of fast food.
Yeah. All right. Press corps is done for the week. Jelani, Krystal, Dustin, thanks for playing. Good to see you all. And thanks to all of you for streaming, liking, and subscribing. Just do it already. I'm David Cruz. We'll see you next week.